Our dwarf fortress, with its delicate fairy tales, desperate follies, dastardly foes,
The mouse devil.
and damn good fun.
What? No!
Kutam milunudis wamid. Welcome one and all to the rocky wastes of the Kindled Dunes, an area of extremes, from the parched stinging air to the oniony swamp of armpits. And it is with Flem Crevice, that you shall be experiencing this place. With barely a mouse-sized morsel of food to be found, even this owl is going to struggle to survive. But if not him, then who?
Oh, I get it.
Don't laugh at that, you'll just encourage him. And yes, Gainsborough and Snodford are here too. But of course, the true place of interest in this dusty cactus pot is below, where I am performing a social experiment to see whether 7 individuals thrust together against their will can survive. Sort of like Big Brother, but without the voting. Oh damn, there's an idea. Anyway, these are the 7. Attis is there, she's just lying down under risen for some reason. Ah, there we go. Must have dropped a contact lens.
Dwarves don't have.
Contact lens. With BustBlizzards, the best impromptu bunker this side of the hills of squeezing, it's up to the dwarves to better their lot, as there shan't be anybody coming to help. The intimation being the bunkers beyond the hills of squeezing are better? Yes. Who's gonna follow that line of logic? Well, you did. I am you.
Ooh, meta.
Fine, I'll be more straight. This place is a turtle-infested cesspit of rough rock, and it's up to us to fix it. Us you? Us the dwarves? Or us the viewers? Yes. Take Dishmab Paddled Nose. Flat, is it? Wrong kind of nose. Judgmental. Anyway, she's one of the caravan guards for the trade wagon that meandered on the map edge for a few weeks before sodding off. Dishmab is still here because dwarves are idiots, and she's taken to popping shots off at the owl we saw earlier. And here is the owl, looking particularly offended. He's pulling a face like Dishmab got one up his...
Yes. Bumhole.
As you probably noticed, Dishmab isn't letting up, but she couldn't hit the broad side of a barn owl, so this great horned one should be fine. Aren't great horned owls bigger? You take great delight in fouling my linguistic masterpieces, don't you?
You tackled the poster.
What? No, don't analyse it, let's just move on. Then we'll move to watching as a farmer's workshop is set up by Attis. This is something of an emergency farmer's workshop because we're just the teeniest, tiniest bit nearly out of alcohol. Just the pineapple advocaat you bought as a joke left. Speak for yourself, I happen to like an eggy zing. Anyway, we've set up a processed plants job, which I have hitherto only ever used to turn pigtail into string, in an effort to utilise the quarry bushes, dimple cups and sweep pods that are in abundance in the bunker garden. I don't actually know if that will produce anything usable that brews into alcohol. but Momar's scribe selves has come with a pigtail. Yes, I know for a fact that you can't make thread ale. This is just Momar's to a T. Give him a serious job that needs doing and he'll sod off to dig a hole to appraise. 35 years of age and he spent most of that talking to himself in mines. Hard to entertain when the majority of your talking points involve the differing elasticity of load-bearing mineral deposits.
Why are you both looking at me?
Next thing we'll try is milling some plants. Aban Cult-Bridge, so named for the fact that she's always on her way to some dark gathering or sect, has manned the quern with a handful of dimple cups and a bag. Given her name, it's not hard to see why I so easily convinced her to join this bunker of woebegone misfits. But she does at least add a touch of authenticity as she walks the halls wailing about the end times and repentance. Blimey, this milling thing takes a tick, doesn't it? We'll come back to her when she's done. 9 days later, and we've got a lovely bag of dimple dye that we can't actually turn into anything drinkable.
Well...
Stop drinking paint!
Oh.
And now Aban has gone for a well-deserved rest. Yeah, at least I hope she's sleeping. Me knows 9 days crushing mushrooms to dust would kill me. Crisis averted anyway. Here you can see Thigh-Cut brewing booze. Turns out they won't do that unless you tell them to. Who'd have guessed? What do you mean, anybody with a brain? You know what? You're getting awful chopsy for a being that had to evolve thumbs to survive. Who are you talking to? They bloody well know who. Moving on, and you can see we've rearranged the bunker to allow for individual bedrooms. Nothing in them but beds. That table isn't really there. Just been dumped after it was deconstructed. Poor fortress is weird. So we'll need to get somebody working on other furniture soon. This had to happen as we have 2 separate couples in the bunker now. Can't have them sharing the space. The dormitory was starting to smell like weak old Greek yogurt. A dog, a pig, and a horse were best chums. The horse had long legs, and the healthiest gums. The dogs were next longest, a moderate stature, and the pigs were the shortest as...
Margaret Thatcher!
He was a scratcher! Weak. So, the dog and the pig, well, they hatched them a plot. That they would be tall, and the horse would be short. Not! Bloody stop it! They planted the seed of a great mushroom tree. The mushrooms have seeds? No, for me sake. They planted the spores of a great mushroom tree. And braced for a game tick. 1, 2...
Vasovagal syncope!
What?
The horse fainted.
No, it's dead. It's not it. I tried for a bit of bloody whimsy and you 2 slabs of dead stupidity ruined it. Moving on. Risen Chamber Dimples. A figure of authority, even if his elaborately pierced member makes him walk a little funny. Another young dwarf, comparatively, dwarves can live a couple centuries if unmolested. He has, however, already spent 2 decades as a middle manager in a branch of themed music shops back at the mountain home. It was his job to ensure the pipe, pump and mechanical organs all stayed stocked, worked correctly, and were ready for custom. Yes, it built him into quite the adequate organizer. Boo!
No!
No, boo yourself. You've probably noticed he keeps standing in his own doorway, staring wistfully at his bed. As anybody who has ever worked from home will tell you, this is completely normal behavior. I'm a little worried that not having menial tasks for him to do will be detrimental to his little dwarven brain. But he's got the skills of an adequate dabbler, so he's hard to place. Ah, he's socializing in the tavern. Oh, that's as good as anything I could get him doing now, so we'll leave him to it. Enjoy yourself, Rizen. On then to Attis Bolt Rises. At a young age, Attis had a terrible run-in with some bonobos, and as such, when Rizen elected her to position of bookkeeper, he did so to her echoing screams. Now happily working away in her office as accounting clerk, Attis has been more than capable as an adept record keeper. One half of one of the couples, she snagged Thighcut as the BustBlizzards looker, and now splits her time between her new duties and frantically and passionately attempting to grab the attention of the baby delivery mole. Yeah, they've been fornicating. No, Snodford! After the horse was treed to death, I felt it safer if we enclosed the pasture below the one tall ceiling. As it stands to repopulate the ageless realm, Rizen's ark contains one bunny, one goose, one pig, one dog, 2 gay horses, and 2 lesbian cats.
Pigs are just as clever as dogs.
Are you suggesting they procreate? Oh, I used to dig pogs. Oh, great. Ages even more in the eyes of the Gen Alphas. With the animals dealt with, abominations unto me notwithstanding, now you can see our dwarves putting away some shell rings in the hope that some will wear them and feel better about themselves. Yes, here they go. Did it work? The idea is that when a dwarf interacts with an item, like being forced to move it from one place to another, they have a chance to take a fancy and keep the item for themselves. The better quality the item, the happier they get, I think. But I've no idea if quality has any effect on the chance they'll take it. So, I think a couple of rings have ended up fingered, but it's hard to know without inspecting. Good way to get pink eye, eh? Well, anyway, we'll get some bracelets going next. Not too many, of course. We can't trade them, so if we go too crazy, we'll be up to our eyeballs in turtle shell gewgaws in no time. It's just something to pass the time while we build up stock to better the bunker.
My granny's got one of those.
A bunker?
No, something to pass the time.
Yes, a clock, is it?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Just a hunch.
She's got one of them too.
Back with Rizen, and I've been watching him bounce between the temple and his room for about a week now, and decided I'd rather just give the twitchy little sod something to do. So he's off to engrave a picture on his bedroom floor. Not a job that'll take him all too long, but he's taking far too much pleasure around what he calls tastefully arranged furniture. So it was this or sending him looking for a long wait. Ah, he's done. He's named it the Spurt of Saturninity. What? It means the act of being saturnine. That is, gloomy, moody, or sullen. The image itself is of a brown recluse spider. He drew a picture of a spider and named it after a teenage boy's stiffy sock. Eloquently put as always, but I can't argue with your sentiment. Most dwarves don't actually like brown recluse spiders even.
Very sensible.
And Rizen is one of those.
I knew I liked him.
Oh, I'll get it. That wasn't his room. No, it was. I made sure to double check before I let him free with the chisel. But why? Ah, that most ineffable of questions. Oh, I'd say it's pretty effed. At least he stopped going to stand in his doorway. Dwarves. Moving away from the individual, we've decided a midsummer clean wouldn't be a bad idea. Not that you'd notice with rough gems and string all over the place. Whilst this continues, we have another bit of housekeeping done, that being a proper, stretching the meaning of the word, hospital. Just some beds and a table for now, which I'm hoping should be sufficient for these early years where the most dangerous foe will be the pond turtles. And midsummer makes way for late, which steps aside for early autumn. And here is our outpost liaison, Sodale Senses Rim. Don't! I didn't say anything. A novice fish cleaner, more than a little underqualified for such a dignified task. There's good reason for this. Over here is Cadol Staff-Belted, Cadol was the outpost liaison who visited last year. It would seem that the liaisons can only return home if they complete their task, and as such, Cadol is stuck. He's not starved to death in all this time, which is weird. It's something to keep an eye on. The traders are here too, though they do seem to leave as normal, which makes sense considering you can miss trading with them if you're too slow. If Sodale stays too, there is a non-zero chance that after a few decades we'll have packs of raving outpost liaisons roaming the dunes. Wouldn't that be interesting? Unaware of the new experiment above, our 7 test subjects below have started putting a nice wooden floor down and have begun tinkering with their own little experiments. These are of a culinary persuasion rather than social. Here you can see a barrel of sticky sweet dwarven syrup, something it turns out dwarves can create from sweet pods just at a farmer's workshop. It's almost completely useless, if my googling wasn't completely off, but it can be cooked as a last resort, so yay! More important than that is the commencement of this. The Great Magnetite Harvest! Later on in this fort's future, much later on, I want to outfit our dwarves in high-quality blessed armour to allow for forays into the, as far as they know, apocalypse-ravaged caverns. I can't do that without materials, and would you just look at all this iron! One thing in particular that needs fixing is this. Out beyond the sight of the dwarves is a colony of naked mole dogs, and no, your eyes do not deceive you. What started as a handful of the blighters turned into an infestation, and this is only one season of breeding. If we're not quick to nip this in the bud, then these budding empire makers will be nipping us quick. I am 100% certain we shan't get to this in time, and am honestly now hoping for a fiery beast. And with Thykert at the smelter, is it any wonder I'm so certain of our demise? Countless wheelbarrows in the bunker, and he's decided that sisyphussing it is the way to go. Oh, this is too painful to watch. Hang on, I'm going to have to set something sensible up. There we go. Set up a stockpile for magnetite that the other dwarves can fill using wheelbarrows, like sane individuals. And now Thykert only has to lug a boulder a smidge to get it smelting. Am I using 3 to 4 dwarves worth of labour to circumvent the stupidity of one dwarf? Yes. Do I care? No. Get the bars rolling. Or go for a drink, and then take a nap. Bloody dwarves! And with that, we're going to call it for another episode. So far, the experiment is going well. I'm learning loads new completely pointless things the dwarves can do, and even getting to learn some of the quirks of the game itself. Super interested to see what happens with the outpost liaisons. Will they go mad? Oh, that would be fun. Just a map edge full of gibbering lunatics attacking anything that gets too close. Not too different to normal dwarves, really. Anyway, pop a comment in if there's anything specific you'd enjoy seeing our dwarves having to do. Sub and like scribe. Point the Jatreon. And there's a diss to the link cord desk the inscription. look after yourselves, and we'll see you again next time. Annals Eshon, you most wonderful of individuals. Annals
Eshon.
So scientists have invented a device to talk to squirrels, and it turns out the little buggers are wizards of intellect when it comes to nutrition. With their help, the scientists have discovered a new superfood. Keeps you young for longer, increases your lifespan, and gives your hair a nice glossy finish.
That is nuts.
Oh, you've heard it.